Alright, so chapter 290 of My Hero Academia is one I think we've all been waiting for a really long time at this point. I've seen it coming, I have, but I didn't expect it here, and I also couldn't really think of any better timing for it. Now, before we get into the big reveal, which I'm sure you all know at this point, I do want to cover a couple of the other stuff that happened first in the chapter. The explanation from All for One on how Shigaraki is still moving around with most of the just beast or mutant based quirks being in his spine is pretty useful just for keeping the power scaling at least a little relevant at the moment. Obviously, we know Shiggy is pretty broken in current times, but we also know One for All and Endeavor are pretty broken, so it's nice to see some explanation of how that played out. Obviously, seeing Todoroki and Nejiri just trying to cover for that and take him out as Gigantomachia comes onto the scene was pretty cool as well. I like the thermal attack and the just full blast waves, which was pretty cool. But the main brunt of this chapter was definitely that reveal. Again, the fan theories, it's got to be at least up there with the traitor theory on the one that's been most speculated and just heavily talked about. But it's finally here. The moment all our fan theorizing and just talking about it has paid off and been coming to fruition. Dabi is Toya Todoroki. Yes, that is right. We finally got the reveal. It is Endeavor's long-lost firstborn son. Now, what made this interesting is, for me at least, with the whole focus of this war arc of basically being on the battle for the heroes to defend what's left of the people's faith in their society, whereas the villains are trying to prove the lack thereof in faith, I think this was the deciding blow in terms of who really won. It seems like they're both going to have to retreat, obviously, with Shigaraki being in the shape he's in and Gigantomachia basically coming in and taking him out. But in terms of public perception, that message from Dabi is definitely going to do a lot of damage in terms of just the hero society. He talks about killing 30 innocent people and it being Endeavor that kind of brought him to that point. He kind of mocks him the whole time as well. He's like, you thought you could just move on to the future and leave your past behind? No, you've done too much in that past now to really make up for it, so to say. And I think with how iffy the public was on Endeavor already being the #1 hero and taking over that role, and for him to only just be recovering that with stuff like the Hayanomu fight and this current arc obviously being an attempt at that, I definitely think it's going to be a pretty deciding blow for this to come out now, because you got to keep in mind, we might have been speculating about this, but the public really didn't know this had happened, so I don't know, I just don't think this is going to be good for his reputation, and it's certainly not going to be good for the #1 hero at the time to be taking that kind of hit. Especially when you've got to consider we've got Best Jeanist up there in the top heroes who's been out of commission for how long. I've been speculating that the last couple of chapters. Obviously, I think Best Jeanist might be coming in soon or he might be making some kind of recovery. But of course, he's, at least for now, out of commission. As well as Hawks, who was second or third, I can never really remember. But still, one of the top 3 heroes, and he is currently out of commission as far as we know. Also because of Dabi, so really has been just Dabi doing a lot of work to, I feel like, damage the hero society this chapter, which is almost interesting in the sense is, while Shigaraki is still certainly the spearhead of the villain just counter movement to the heroes, I think it's pretty cool to see how much of a forefront Dabi has taken in this arc and trying to take out that hero society, considering his father Endeavor is trying to take on the forefront and the main momentum of the hero just society right now. Obviously with lines such as, I am this nation's top hero. Pretty cool to see. But I'm really curious to see how we're going to see the people react to that. Because obviously we saw Todoroki's mother responding to that message to an extent. Obviously not responding, but just having to watch it. And the look on her face was pretty bad. Now obviously I think she's going to take it the worst because it's her child up there. But it's still going to be pretty interesting to see if anyone else in the series takes it any better. Because if you even look at Deku on the ground at the time, recognizing the name, he definitely took it pretty hard just for Todoroki. So I just definitely don't see that going over very well for him. But I'm also just, I don't know. Again, I know we've been waiting for this reveal for a while, but I think the timing of it was phenomenal, and I think that it's going to have a lot of just long-lasting, really repercussions throughout the rest of the series, in the sense that it's definitely something, at least Endeavor, if not the whole hero society, is going to have to deal with and kind of try and recover from, and it's definitely going to be pretty tough, I feel like, and doesn't feel like it's something that just happened or like was wasted, especially with how long we've waited. It definitely feels like something that's going to have been having a good payoff about it, which is always nice. But that being said, that's kind of really all that happened this chapter, which I almost prefer. I think it's better to just leave it there than have other stuff added on just for the sake of adding stuff on this chapter. I feel like it was better to just kind of leave a whole chapter to a reveal that big. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what y'all thought of the reveal down below. I know, again, this is a really big, just something the fans have been waiting on for a long time. So if you have thoughts on it, you have something you want to say, something I missed, leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to take a look and read it. Otherwise, this has been MyHeroDeku, signing off.